Hello friends, my name is Linda Dolke and I'd love to welcome you to this month's Global Stampin' Video Hop. This month we're doing fun fold cards and I'm actually going to be copying, just making some little changes to a card that I received as a swap on the most recent Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. We went over to Norway back in May this year, 2023, and my video today is going to show you this little card because I thought it was really clever, really cute. I'm not sure what the fun fold is called. Maybe we could call it a double flap card. So you've got this piece here on the outside that opens, and then you've got like a separate little card inside that hides the bit where you would write your message. So I really like it. I thought it was very simple. This card was created by Amy Rich. She popped her name there on the back, and I'm very grateful that she made this card because I got to have a little look at it when I got home and go, I'd like to make that too. So let me show you how I've done it. I've done it today in metric measurements. However, it would be really easy to convert to imperial. And what I will do is work out the imperial or US letter measurements so that, and pop that on my blog so that, and I'll do that over the next little while. So after this video goes live, that will be available to see what the imperial measurements are. So if you would like to follow up on that, if you're an inches person, then that will probably suit you. Today, I'm going to be recreating this with some colors from the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper. So I'm going to cut a piece of boho blue cardstock, and we're going to cut it at the halfway point, which in metric is 10.5 centimeters across, and we're just going to cut the whole length. You would do the same thing in the US letter cardstock. You would cut it at the halfway point, cut it on the vertical, okay? I'm then going to bring out my arm of my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this to 23 centimeters long. I'll have the imperial measurements, don't worry, on the blog for you as well, okay? And then I'm going to pull the cutting blade out of the way because I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm going to make sure that that is scored at 14.8, which means that the base is going to be normal card size, all right? So we have a 23 centimeter long piece, and it's scored at the 14.8 mark. Okay, let's move this out of the way. The rest of the pieces I've already cut. Okay, so I'm going to fold this in half, and I always recommend that you use a bone folder and just flatten that out. Okay, now the pieces that I've got here, let's start with this one. This is 7.8 by 10 centimeters, this one here, and it's going to fit right there in that top piece. Okay, so that's the piece that's going to go there. All right, in fact, let's just glue it down as we go. You can use Tombow, you can use seal, you can use whatever kind of, or tape, whatever kind of glue you happen to prefer. That's the one that you should use. I'm nearly down to the bottom of this Tombow. That seems to happen to me quite a lot when I'm on a video. Just seems to be the way it is. All right, so let's pop this here and center it so you've got a little bit of a border all the way around the edge, just like that. Okay, happy with that. All right, now this piece here, this piece is 10 centimeters by 14.3, beg your pardon. Okay, and that piece is going to go down here on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to put, and you can use whichever part of this paper. I've used the stripy side because you're not going to see a lot of this one because we're going to have another piece in the middle of it. So I thought this was a good one to have the stripes showing around the edges. You'll see what I mean in a minute. All right, so we have one here on the front and one here inside. Okay, like so. Now, if you have a little look at the original, we have this smaller piece here on top. All right, so I've already cut this. Now, this piece is 7 centimeters across. Yep, 7 centimeters across by 11. Okay, so, and then I've measured this one to be 0.5 centimeter smaller, so it's 6.5 centimeters across by 10.5, and I'm going to glue that onto this piece as well. So, and the nice thing about using pieces from a single pack of pattern paper is you haven't got to go and try and find coordinating colors or pieces. They're all going to coordinate. And this beautiful Countryside Inn paper It's very easy to coordinate because it's designed for all the different colors and pieces to go together. So makes your life easier if you're using one piece. All right, so this piece is going to end up here on the front. Can you start to see how the card looks now? All right, it's rather nice, isn't it? So I ended up putting, I'm not going to put it on yet because I'm going to do the inside piece first, but I usually make sure that the same amount here, here, and here, and so that's going to bring it up a little bit from the bottom, which is what we want. I then have a piece. Now, if you want to just do it, I'm going to show you a different way to do this. But this piece here, this long piece, is actually, just trying to remember, 25 centimeters, okay? And then I've scored it at the halfway mark. So 12.5 centimeters is the halfway mark, okay? Now, if I was going to do it the same as Amy's beautiful card, this piece would be on top. This piece would be inside, okay? And then this piece here, which I'll give you the measurements for in a second, is going to be on the front of that. So you can kind of see then how this is going to come together. All right, so then this is going to open, this is going to be able to open. All right, so the measurements for the white, I think I just gave it to you, 25 long by 8.5 wide. Score it at 12.5. Okay, so it's exactly the halfway mark. You can also just fold it over and score it. You don't have to use a scoring tool for that. The piece that goes on the front of that is the one that is 8 by 12. Okay, that one there. All right, the reason that I haven't actually cut this piece yet, and the reason I'm telling you this, is there's another way to do this, and I thought this would be rather fun. I'm going to be using the Countryside Corners dies. Now, these are actually designed to match this beautiful paper. They're part of the same suite. And what I want to do is I'm going to make this piece, it's going to make it shorter, but that's okay. And I'm going to put it, so I'm going to fold it, make sure that I've used my bone folder here at the halfway mark. And then I'm going to put this piece, before I run it through my cut and emboss machine, I'm going to put it there so that the fold line is just this side of the cut line. So when you look at it from behind here, you can see the cutting edge of the die is outside. It's not going to cut this edge. Okay, so let's bring in our cut and emboss machine and do that. Just going to bring that in. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to position this so that the cut line is just beyond the fold. We do not want to cut the fold, okay? So I'm going to put my top plate on and I'm going to push this through and wind the whole thing through. Both layers are going through at the same time. All right, so when I open this up, okay, I'm going to take these pieces off. Now this, you can see the shape we've just cut, right? But because we have that folded score line there, it actually now opens out, okay? So that's kind of cute. Don't you think that's cute? I just thought this might be a way of doing this slightly differently. Now, while I've got my cut and emboss machine, I also want to have the next size down. I'm going to cut this piece here because that's going to go on the front. So let's put this piece through as well. And roll that back through the other way. Okay, so now I've got one single piece of DSP. Let's move this out of the way. And now I've got a piece here that is going to fit on top of this piece here. You can see there's a bit of a border around. That actually is, I think that actually adds to the look. I think it looks really good. So let's put this around here. All right, and I'm going to line this up so I've got the same amount of border all the way around. I just realized I put it on upside down. These are like little flowers. Let's pull that off and do it again. So you can see the little flowers go up this way. So let's put that back on. The good thing about Tombow is you can pick that up before it dries and you have a second chance. Thank goodness, right? All right, so let's bring our pieces back in. All right. So I want to put this here in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. I'm actually going to make it slightly lower down only because I want it to still be seen. If I put this one on here, I want to make sure that you can still see that below. So I'm actually going to lower it just a little bit so you can see this bottom edge. All right, so now we have a piece that opens up, and this is where you would write your greeting. Okay, then we've got the outside of the card. This piece here with the stripy bit on is going to go here at the top. So let's put that down. I don't want to have the glue going all the way to the bottom. I only want it to be behind this top part of the so I'm actually going to come down here with my Tombow. I really need a new Tombow. Come on. All right, so right, and then I'm going to do a line across here. So I've got the bottom edge there, and let's position that so you can still see a little bit of this one underneath. And the other thing is I want to have the same amount showing here and here. All right, happy with that. That's looking really good. And you can adjust it a little bit. That's good. I actually want to bring that back. All right, that's looking really cute. So now you've got an opening here, and then you have another opening here. All right, so that's looking great. Happy with that. We need, of course, a greeting of some kind. I've already cut the very smallest of these countryside corner dies. The very smallest one is here. And I'm thinking, where will I like to put it? I think down the bottom here. And so you can put any greeting you like on this. For this one, I'm going to use the greeting here that says, wishing you the brightest birthday. This is from the Cheerful Daisy set, but you could use any set that you wanted to have. I just think this is particularly nice, but you can have any set. This Cheerful Daisy set has been so popular, this particular catalogue, and I think it's because it's so versatile. You can use it, and it's a very easy set to use. So I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight, which is one of the colours that's featured here in the paper. You could pick any of the colours, but I usually, for a greeting, go with a darker colour, such as Night of Navy or the Misty Moonlight, either one. They're very similar. Let me just position that on there. If you're using a photopolymer stamp like this, you can see through to see where you're stamping, which helps you create it nice and straight. If you are using a rubber set, you might be better off stamping first and then cutting out your shape. All right, so we can put it in the middle or we can put it to one side. Now, I am tempted to put something underneath. I feel like it needs something else. So I'm thinking maybe, those of you who know me well know I love to use a vellum circle. But if you didn't want to use a circle, you could use a square or another shape if you prefer. But I do like a vellum circle. So I'm thinking, should this go in the middle or should it go to one side? That is the question. I'm thinking maybe in the middle. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a blending brush and add a bit of colour to this, which would look really, really nice. So if I just use a blending brush here and a little bit of Misty Moonlight, just add some colour in the centre. It's just going to give us a little bit more of something there in the middle. And you won't really notice it until you put it up against here. Then you can sort of see the colour. It does make a difference. So I'm going to add a little bit more. All right, so let's add some dimensionals behind this. Just a couple. 1 and 2. And I feel that we're going to want a ribbon or definitely some embellishments of some kind here on the end. See, that's looking rather nice, isn't it? Can you see how nice that blue extra colour looks? And let's add a couple more dimensionals behind that. And we can add them so that they are hidden by the sentiment. Okay, I'm thinking that's rather good. I'm just going to try and center that circle. I'm liking the look of this. Now I'm thinking some bling. We have lots of different colored blings. These ones here are really nice. They've got the boho blue, and I think that would be just perfect. We also have some in the tinsel. Actually, you know what? These don't show up that well. So let me change my mind, and I'm going to go up to some darker ones. These are in the tinsel gems, and this is the Misty Moonlight. So that's actually better. That's a bit darker. Let's go one of the large ones and a couple of smaller ones. That's rather cute, isn't it? Looking good. Now the question is, do we need a ribbon? I am not sure. I'm thinking maybe we have lots of ribbon choices. I have the beautiful Night of Navy bordered ribbon. That would look lovely. That's this one. Okay. Or we could do some twine. Or another option would be the Balmy Blue Balmy Blue variegated ribbon. That would also be really nice. So there's lots of nice ribbon choices we have right now that that you may find you really like the look of. But if I was going to use this, I would either tie it in a very small bow because you don't want the bow to overwhelm the card, or we could just add a little bit of maybe just a little bit of ribbon poking out from behind our greeting. That might also work. Let's see how this looks if I tie it in a very small bow. So, oh, it does look nice. Maybe if I move this down a little bit, that might be good. Let's grab the ribbon scissors. So as you can see, I hadn't decided how I wanted to embellish this before I made the video. I knew what I wanted to do with the shape of the card and how that should come together, but I hadn't. Yeah, I do like it. So let's add that on with a glue dot. I have some glue dots sitting here on the roll. This is the best way to use a glue dot. Put your embellishment or ribbon or whatever it is you want to stick onto the glue dot roll. Give it a hard, firm push with your thumb, and then take the whole thing off. The dot comes as well, and then you can just stick it straight on. That is the easiest way to use it. All right, I'm going to call this a finished card. What do you think? Do you like it? So we have, like, it's a double flap. So this actually comes out so you can open up and write your greeting inside, kind of hidden. And I've used the Countryside Corners dies to create a slightly different one. On the original that I received from Amy, this one is just a straight flap, and you could do that as well. All right, I will sit down and write out the measurements for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I think it's a lot of fun. So simple, and we have some fabulous fun fold cards in this month's video hop, so please go check out the other creations. If you scroll down below this video and hit the more button or the read more button where the description is, you'll see a full list of all the people that are participating in this month's hop, and there are just some fabulous ideas. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you again hopefully next month. Thanks, bye.